Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about the top 10 medicinal herbs for your herbal garden. Today we're going to be going through 10 different really easy to grow, really helpful basic medicinal herbs and their uses so that you can start growing your own medicinal herb garden. Now I want to make one caveat before I get started. I am not a medical professional, and before you start treatment for something, please check with your doctor, especially if you're pregnant or taking other medications, or before you give it to your children, be sure to check with your health professional. I'm just sharing with you some general medicinal properties of these herbs. This isn't meant to be medical advice. So I've chosen 10 of my favorite medicinal herbs, and we'll go through them one at a time. The first one that we're going to talk about is lemon balm. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the Latin names down in the comments just in case you want to make sure that you're picking the right variety of these that I'm talking about, but for our purposes, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce all the Latin names of these. But lemon balm. Now, first and foremost, with lemon balm and peppermint, you want to make sure you're not just sticking it in your garden because it can be invasive, and you don't want to be pulling it out for years and years and years to come. So this is great for a container or a patch away from your garden that you don't care if it spreads. And with all of these herbs, there's several different uses for them, and I'm just gonna focus on like one major use for each of them, because to spend so much time talking about each one, this video would be like 4 hours long. So I'm gonna focus on my favorite use for each of these. With lemon balm, the thing I like most about lemon balm is to make lemon balm salve. Lemon balm is a great antibacterial, antiviral, which means it's a fantastic salve for wounds, specifically like cold sores or chicken pox or anything that's viral in nature. And it can help calm those, and it can help heal up those viral and bacterial infections, those lesions on your skin. So this is a great herb to make salves out of. And if you're curious about how to make salves, I have a video where we made some lavender salve, and I will put the link down below so you can see the process is the same, even though it's a slightly different type of salve. And the parts that you use from lemon balm are the aerial parts, and the aerial parts are just anything above the ground. And so you can use the stem or the leaves, and you'll put that all in your tea or your salve or whatever you're making. The next one we're going to talk about is chamomile, and this one is a favorite for tea. Now I will give you the caveat that you probably only want to steep this tea for about 2 minutes, because chamomile can get really bitter if you're using it in a tea. The part that you use on the chamomile is just the flower head. And so this tea is really, really fantastic for stomach issues. Irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, constipation, all of those things. It calms, it soothes, and it helps your stomach a lot. There are a lot of other uses for chamomile. It's a great relaxing tea for the end of the day, but the stomach issues are the #1 reason I grow chamomile. Sage. This is my favorite. If I could grow one herb, it probably would be sage. Outside of culinary uses, it is a fantastic steam for when you have congestion. So what you're going to want to do is to boil some water and put the sage leaves in a big bowl, and then you're going to want to pour that water over top of those sage leaves and cover it with a towel. And then you're going to let those steep for about 10 minutes. And then you can take the towel and put it up over your head and breathe in that steam, and it works really well to clear out congestion. It's got tannins that tighten up some of those muscles and help with the spasming. It has an expectorant that kind of loosens that phlegm and gets it active and working. It's got anti-inflammatory properties that really help calm your sore throat and everything that's all congested and hurting after you've been coughing a lot. This really is a champion for cold season, and it is so incredibly easy to grow. I love sage. Another great one to have for cold and flu season is St. John's wort. And St. John's wort, you're going to use the flowers, the leaves, the stems, pretty much the aerial parts. And This one is great as a tea. And the reason this is so fantastic is because it stops viral replication. So for instance, if you have the flu or you have the chicken pox or you have some other viral issue, St. John's wort will actually stop that virus from replicating. It won't kill the virus, but if the virus can't replicate, it won't get as bad and it won't last as long. So this is a really great one for cold and flu season. The next one on the list is echinacea. And you've probably heard about echinacea during cold season. It's fantastic. It really helps boost your immune system. You can do this as a tea or a tincture. And with echinacea, you can use the roots, you can use the flower, you can use the leaves. There have been a lot of studies that show that if taken at the outset of a cold, echinacea can actually shorten the duration of your cold. It can lessen your symptoms, and it really helps with cold symptoms. So another really great one for colds. The next one I have on my list is lavender, and lavender is one of those with a zillion bajillion uses. And so many people use it just for the smelling properties. But the reason that I really love it is to make a salve, just like we did with the lemon balm. And I do have a video of Michaela and I making that salve, and I will link that down below. When you have cuts or scrapes or bites or stings or anything like that, putting lavender on it has twofold process. First of all, it acts as a disinfectant, and second of all, it dulls the pain. So it's a really excellent salve to have around. It's gentle on skin and it's great, especially like during garden season when you're out and you're getting ant bit or mosquito bit or just cut up. This is a great one to have. And with lavender, what you're going to use is the lavender buds or the flowers. The next really big all-star, if you are planting an herbal garden, you want to have some peppermint. But like I said with the lemon balm, peppermint is incredibly invasive. So plant it in a container or plant it somewhere far away from your garden. But peppermint has so many uses. It's a great tea, just like the chamomile. It helps with bloating and indigestion and irritable bowel syndrome, but it also has analgesic properties, so it can help with pain. So if you have an earache or a toothache or a headache or something, it can really help relieve that pain. So I love peppermint. And with peppermint, you're gonna just pull the leaves off and use the peppermint leaves. Now our next one is calendula. And a lot of people will make salve with this, and it is a fantastic salve. My favorite use for it though is a tea. This is a lady tea. This helps with menstruation, and it helps regulate your cycle, and it helps calm cramps and ease some of the flow issues that you might have. It also helps with menopause symptoms. So calendula, if you have ladies in your house, if you are a lady, this one is a really great one to have around, because you're gonna need something for that time of the month. It really, really does help. And with calendula, you're gonna use that flower head to make the tea. Now the next one is a little bit hard to find, and I'm gonna talk about where to find these herbs in just a minute, but this one is valerian. And this one is a go-to for me for headaches, and especially tension headaches. And it also helps a lot with restless leg syndrome. And it's been shown in a lot of studies to help with anxiety. And you'll want to brew this up as a tea. And with valerian, you use the roots. So you're gonna wanna plant quite a bit of this, because you're gonna have to uproot it to be able to use the medicinal benefits, which is why valerian can be a little more expensive if you're just buying the herb itself. But this one is a great herb to have on hand if you suffer from restless leg, if you have migraines, if you have anxiety, things like that. This is a really good herb to have on hand. And last but certainly not least, we have yarrow. Now, I like to make tea with the yarrow. You can do all sorts of things with yarrow. It is an extremely well-rounded herb with tons of medicinal benefits. And really, you can go out and harvest wild yarrow quite a bit. It grows in a ton of places, especially in the United States, and it's very, very abundant. This is a fever reducer. It also helps avoid infections. So if you make a poultice or something, if you have a cut and you're worried about it getting infected, you can make a poultice or just pour the tea on the cut, and that really will help fight that infection. It also has been shown to lower blood pressure, which is really cool. Tons and tons of benefits on yarrow. In fact, I'm probably in the next few weeks, since we have so much wild yarrow growing out in the yard, I'm probably going to harvest some, and I'll do a video specifically on all of the medicinal benefits of yarrow because it is excellent. So those are my top 10 herbs to grow in your garden. For ease of growing, especially for beginners, these are some great all-round herbs. They service a variety of needs, and you don't have to do anything tricky for them. You know, a lot of them will work as teas or salves or poultices even. So you don't have to be a pro at making tinctures and all the things. You can make the tinctures, you can do all the advanced herbal things, but you don't have to know those things to be able to harvest and make a tea with some of these, or harvest and get it wet and make a poultice with some of these. So these are really fantastic herbs to have around. Now, I told you I'd talk a little bit about where to get these seeds, because medicinal herbs can be notoriously hard to find, or if you do find them, a lot of them, like valerian, can be like $7 a seed pack or something. And so that adds up. If you're building out your herb garden, that can add up really fast. This company, Survival Garden Seeds, gave us this amazing ultimate medicinal herb collection to try and check out, and we have been really pleased with the quality of their seeds and most of all their price. If you buy them individually, I think they're $3 or $4 a pack, which is pretty average. But if you get the ultimate medicinal collection like this, and it's got 36 different seeds, these are all in there. And there's some extras. And if you want me to go through the rest of these in another video, I can absolutely talk about all of the things in this. But it is $39, I believe, which ends up being like $1.11 per seed packet, which is incredibly affordable, especially for these medicinal seeds. So I'm really thankful they gave these to me to try out. High Health future editing me to come back to say all the things that I forgot to say. I mentioned this company, Survival Seeds. We actually met them at the Okie Homesteading Expo. It's the father and the son. It's a family-run business, and they're the sweetest people. But I wanted to say, when we met them, they gave us some samples and they gave us a coupon code. So just wanted to be sure to share that with you. Roots Up is the coupon code, and I will put that down below in the link and all the things. And you can get 10% off their big packs. And they gave us one of each of their big packs that we get 10% off of, just to share with you if you care, if you want to. But the thing I wanted to say about this is, if you use the coupon code on the medicinal herb pack, it makes it like 99 cents a seed pack. So you can't even go to the Dollar Tree and get seeds for that. This is an incredible value. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I know that finances are tight a lot of times, and it's hard to get started with a garden, especially until you're able to save seeds and things. But this is a great value to be able to start. The other ones that are on sale, just in case you want to know that you can get that 10% off, are their home garden pack, that is 30 heirloom garden seeds, their homesteader pack, which is 50, and then their big one, which is 100. It's called the Farmer's Seed Vault, and this is 100. And you can use that coupon code for 10% off of any of them. And if you want to see what's inside of these and have a look, I would absolutely open them. Just go ahead and give me a comment and I'll do a video on those. But today I just really wanted to focus on medicinal herbs and their uses, and then show you a really inexpensive way that you can get started, because sometimes, especially getting started with medicinal herbs, is pricey. If you don't want to grow them though, you can go to a place like Mountain Rose Herbs, and I'll put that link down below too, and you can just buy dried herbs. If you don't have garden space right now, or it's out of season, or any of those things, you can buy the dried herbs and you can use them just the same. It's just always cheaper to be planting them. And a lot of these, in fact, most of these are perennials. So once you get them established, they're gonna come back year after year after year. So it really behooves you to start a medicinal herb garden. So I hope that was helpful information for you. I've really enjoyed learning over the past few years all about building a medicinal herb garden and what the different uses are for them. And I'm really thankful to be able to share that information with y'all. If you got some value out of this, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so that you can hang out with us in future videos. Y'all have a wonderful day.